What's up, guys? We are back with another review, and the folks over at Bombusbee sent me the figure that we're going to take a look at today. And I'll be honest, before they sent it over, I really had no idea this thing even existed. It wasn't on my radar, and yet, well, if you paid attention to the thumbnail, you pretty much know my thoughts on this thing. We're taking a look at the Sexy Ice 2019, so that's the company, that's the folks making this, VERMIN series 112 UNKVAL Eliminator. And this thing has a couple different releases. We're taking a look at the single. There's also a 3-pack that I believe includes like an extra little thing that goes with it. But this is far and away one of the coolest figures I have gotten to take a look at in a while. Now, it comes in a pretty basic box, so you've got like a spot varnish look of like the silhouette of the figure and the name on the front here, and then the back just has a bunch of warnings in Chinese, and it's a slip cover, but there's not really anything underneath there. It's just a black box. So presentation is fairly minimal, but I do really like the sort of silhouette image to give you a bit of a teaser of what's actually inside this thing. So, you know, let's just do it. Let's pull them out and take a look. And here we go, out of the package, our Sexy Ice UNKVAL Eliminator. And it's on the thumbnail. Like, I really do think this thing is probably going to be a figure of the year, if not just top 10 contender for pretty much anybody that gets a hold of it. It's one of those figures that, for me in particular, you know, a lot of what I collect is very nostalgia driven, very much stuff outside of like Mythic Legions, really stuff that I latched onto as a kid. This is obviously not that, because it's not anything. It's just a toy for the sake of being a toy. And I mean, it's pretty much blown me away. I've really not put it down since I got it. So let's see what he can do, see how he moves around. He's very Reveltech, very Amazing Yamaguchi-esque, which I think works to its benefit. So we've got a head that can look down. The neck is independently articulated. You've got really good tilt side to side. He can look up some, but the lip on the helmet and the lip on the back of the armor does get in the way a little bit. So you just got to kind of watch that. Of course, you've got swivel there as well. The arms go out at the shoulders. They swivel. We've got the way the joint is structured, it basically works as a butterfly joint to get his arms across the chest, but it's not actually a butterfly joint, which I think is pretty cool. You've got bicep swivel. We've got a double jointed elbow, which is like a disc hinge in the bicep, and then it's a ball hinge in the forearm, which does allow for a little flex, a little shimmy at that forearm. And then the wrists are a ball hinge into the hand with a ball peg in the socket. So there is a shimmy there to just allow for a little extra range up and down and all over, really. And then you've got your hinge and rotation there. The only thing I've noticed that is more of an annoyance than anything else is that the hands, you know, if you're a little rough with it, the hands might just pop off, but they stay on pretty good once he's posed up. So it's mostly a non-issue. Torso goes back. He goes forward, though, really, really far. Like, I love that. That's great. You've got a diaphragm cut, so tilt side to side. It's a ball peg waist, so you've got swivel down there. You've also got swivel at the torso. So pretty much any direction you want the chest to go, it's going to go. Thighs are probably the one area where he is limited. He's got some big old tree trunk thighs, so he only goes out about that far. Still fairly fine. They kick forward all the way, though. They kick backwards some. You do have a thigh twist up there. We've got double jointed knees that go pretty much all the way back. There is some boot shimmy down here. It's not like full. It gets a little tight, but it works pretty well. And then we've got pretty good hinge. Really, really good rocker. And then you've also got toe articulation down there at those feet. So, I mean, he moves in essentially every way you would want him to. The crunch, the diaphragm, all of the chest articulation, the elbow articulation, the shoulders in particular. Pretty much everything from the waist up is almost perfect. He moves incredibly well, gets into dynamic poses very, very easily. And again, the only area that I think he's maybe limited by, except for that head up there, when you want to look up a little bit, is the thighs. But they go out pretty far anyway. They just don't do the full splits. Otherwise, I mean, I can't ask for too much more when it comes to what this thing is capable of in terms of posing. Now, visually, I think this guy looks just as cool in terms of, you know, the aesthetics compared to how well he moves. Obviously, they're not a one-to-one comparison, but it's a really cool looking figure that also moves really well, and they work nicely together. There is obviously something very evil about this thing. Like, he looks like a bad guy. Like, this looks like a bad dude. He doesn't look like a hero in any way. You know, he is tactical. He's very much augmented. Is there a human underneath any of this? What is this thing? It's very robotic. I get a lot of like Appleseed vibes from this, if you're familiar with that manga or the anime. Briarios, the character. Some things remind me of like Jinro, the Wolf Brigade, in terms of this sort of tactical, a very scary type of, almost like a riot officer because of some of the weaponry it includes. But it's got tons and tons of like detailed sculpting. Everything is painted on this figure too. There is a ton of little detail, differing shades of silvers and grays and blacks, gold piping, this orange accent, the silver accent, the red on the visor up there. You've got the little, the UNKVAL logos emblazoned on the shoulder pads. The back of this figure is, just as impressive as the front too. He's got all these pouches and everything. You've got this silver metallic spine that's in there. I guess these are maybe supposed to be like power plants, so, energy sources for this thing sticking up out of the back. That's kind of like, a mecha, very mobile suit type of look and feel to me. There's a lot of things that remind me of a lot of things here, but it's all very much its own figure, if that makes any sense. There's a lot of stuff that is familiar to me, but this thing is unique, and it's so cool. When you get this in hand, you're going to take a long look at this and realize there is just so much going on with this figure from a visual perspective that plays into how it is able to move the way it moves. It's built in such a way that it incorporates its design into its articulation scheme. And it's just a treat for the eyes. And I don't normally ever talk like that, but it really is an amazingly cool action figure. I really can't think of an easier or better way to say it. This thing just looks cool. And that's really what it comes down to. It is a cool looking figure for the sake of being a figure. And it's pretty rare, for me anyway these days, that does anything for me. But again, I haven't really put this thing down. It's just neat. There's a lot of, again, familiar aspects and design elements of it, but all of these little things taken into the whole make it its own unique action figure with a really unique design, and it just looks super menacing, super evil. My only real criticism is that I truly think I need more than one of these now, and they're not exactly easy to get at this point. Once they started getting out there, the hype definitely built almost immediately in just how impressive this thing is. And it's, again, going to appear on a lot of top 10 lists, I'm sure. The head, the face is one of my favorite aspects of this thing. Very evil, very menacing. It's got like these gas mask sort of canisters sticking out of it. It's obviously very tactical. It's got like a scope on the visor that pops down. The visor doesn't move or anything. And there is an alt head we'll talk about here in a bit. But you've got those little hits of red, orange up there. And then you've got just a hint of what might be under there with these silver metallic teeth. Very skeletal in terms of that design, which, I'm a big fan of anything pretty much skeleton these days. So I do really like that. And I love just the overall proportions of this figure. He's got big, bulky arms. He's got a tight cinched waist. And then he's got these big tree trunk legs that absolutely show off the fact that this would not be something that you would ever want to encounter, the wrong side of, basically. I think they did just a tremendous job in terms of sculpt, design, and paint from top to bottom, start to finish. I really don't have any criticisms here. I think it is an amazing looking action figure. Now, as far as accessories goes, this thing is pretty loaded. Like it kind of has one of every kind of thing. You've got a bunch of hands, we've got an extra head, and we've got all this sort of tactical type of equipment to give him various types of weaponry loadouts, depending on what you want to do. So to start with, we do get an extra head sculpt, and it's pretty similar to the first head sculpt, but it's more like the visor has been lifted up and there's like these little spikes on it. So the first head has like these red lights on it almost. The 3 circles on the visor. This one, they are protruding and they're silver now, but then the mask is up, and instead of that sort of maw of silvery teeth, there's this sort of robotic skeletal type of face going on in here. I'm really hard pressed to say which one I prefer because both are pretty solid. Like, I really don't have any issues with either. They're pretty damn great. But I am always a sucker for, skeletal type of heads and faces, so this one probably edges out the other one just a little bit, but they're both pretty fantastic. I really like this one, though. We do get a bunch of extra hands, so he has fists on him in the box. Obviously, I've got gripping hands on him now. You get a set of pointing finger hands as well. You get a set of trigger finger hands. And then you get a set of grasping, grappling style hands, style posy kind of hands as well. We get the sort of riot shield here, which has the UNKVAL sort of logo and like the anti-bug sort of thing on there, because again, these are seemingly going up against that Mantis figure and the other bug stuff that's coming down the pipeline, I suppose. So they are very much against that. We've got this like riot hammer warhammer, sledgehammer kind of thing, whatever you want to call it. This is easily my favorite weapon in the loadout for this figure. I think it's really great. It fits in the hand super well. Like the actual grip on these gripping hands is definitely tailored to the weapons themselves. Like they're meant to hold the stuff he comes with, and they hold them really well. We've got a knife, which has, I don't know if this is supposed to be blood or if it's supposed to be more like an energy type of thing, but you've got this sort of faded red look on the tip of it there, which looks really cool. It's got a nice metallic sheen to it also. And then you've also got, to round him out, we've got this sort of like tactical rifle with maybe like a grenade launcher on it. It's got two handles. It's got one, popping out of the side, and then it's got your standard stock. But nice details, nice paint work, really clean, very crisp work on this. Like in general, just like the rest of the figure, all of the accessories are very, very dialed in and just work exactly like they're supposed to. This thing can pose with all of this stuff without any issue. You can put it into some crazy poses and it holds everything really well. The only thing I don't really like, and it's not necessarily a negative, it's just there's not any real storage for any of this stuff. Like there's no place to put that knife, and there's no place to like put the rifle on his back or anything like that, but that's really a minor thing. Otherwise, I mean, from start to stop, the accessories with this guy are just terrific. So yeah, like I said, and I mean, it's in the thumbnail, this is easily like a figure of the year contender. No doubt about it. I have a feeling this is going to appear on a lot of lists this year. If I end up doing one, I suspect it's going to be on mine because, I mean, quite honestly, I can't put it down. It's been a lot of fun since I got my hands on it. It's one of those rare instances for me in particular, and what I collect for, or something I have no nostalgia for, no real frame of reference for, is absolutely blowing me away just because of how good it is. The sculpt is terrific. It can be put into some insane poses. The articulation is truly a lot here. There's a lot to go through, and it has a great deal of accessories that all work really well with the idea of this figure. It's another kind of off the beaten path type of release, but I think anybody that gets their hands on this is going to be blown away just by how well done this is. So that's going to do it for this look at the Sexy Ice UNKVAL Eliminator. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.